here with Beautrice. Say hello.
Hi.
7 questions to examine the shadow of your soul. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Question number 1. Who is I? There's no right or wrong answer.
Who is I?
Yeah, I want to get that kind
As
of
in who am I?
The
Who
question.
is I?
Yes, that's the question.
Wow, I feel put on the spot.
I caught her off guard. I just met her in question, though. You know how we do. Peace.
Who is I makes me think that there's like an I that we all share. I don't know, the way you asked that question made me not think about me, but it made me think about like, what does I represent as identity for all of us? And even though we each have individual, it's very loud out here.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Even though we each have, our individual identities, that there's also, we all share the concept of identity.
Yes.
And that's how I is how we exist in the world and say who we are. I don't know. Does that answer it?
That's fine with us. Thank you. Ready? Question number 2.
Question number 2.
What do you value the most?
Connection. Human connection. And honesty is not the right word, but something about when you're really like vulnerable and real with someone.
Yes.
And you scrape off all of the kind of superficial stuff on the top and you really get down to what does it mean to be a human being with another human being, and you share that. Whether you share that in a conversation, dancing together, creating art, writing, whatever it is, that's something that I value the most, is creating spaces for that, finding spaces for that, doing that with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Question number 3. What do you value the least?
The superficial stuff. No. I don't know. I think monetary gain, like I don't care about getting rich. I don't care about accumulating a lot of stuff. I don't care about success with a capital S. I care about connecting with people, like I said before. So things that distract from that, things that prevent us and create roadblocks from us actually being able to connect at that level.
Yes.
I really don't value that stuff. Yeah.
Thank you. Question number 4. What culture do you come from?
That's a hard one.
Is it?
It's a hard one because I grew up all over the world.
Okay.
I was born in Austria, and in Vienna, and I lived there until I was 7.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Yeah.
Ein bisschen?
Ein bisschen. I was more fluent when I was younger.
Yeah. Me too. You know I speak German. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mein Deutsch ist ja nicht so gut, aber yeah, but we traveled in Europe a lot during that time, and then we lived in Japan for 2 years.
Yes.
And then moved to the States. And I was an American citizen the whole time, so like in some ways I was American the whole time, and I am American, but what is American?
Does that mean Army brat?
No, actually.
No, okay.
I know people always think Army or missionary.
Stereotype.
It's neither.
Okay.
My father was an art historian and a museum director. My mother's a violinist and an art curator and writer. And my dad was the museum director of a museum, then he got a guest professorship, and then he retired, and we moved to San Diego because my mom's parents were there. So,
lovely.
Yeah, so culture has always been, I feel more European than I do American. I challenge what does it mean to be American, because a lot of the people who say American and they're like waving the flag and
yes.
That's not the American that I want to be a part of, right? But I'm also not Austrian because I didn't live there long enough. I'm not Japanese, I was only visiting, but I feel very connected to that culture. So, I don't know, I'm a kind of weaving together of many threads and many pieces that are my background and my culture. And I think for me, a lot of it's connected to art.
Yes.
Because of my background and people I've been around. Yeah, I don't know. It's a hard question to answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it. Question number 5. How well do you know yourself?
Ooh.
Yes.
I'm constantly getting to know myself better.
Okay.
I think I know myself pretty well. I think I know myself much better now than I did, say, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, earlier than that. Probably I knew myself really well when I was a kid. And then, like, you go through that, like, middle school teenage part where you, like, don't know yourself at all. At least that's my experience. And a lot of people were telling you how to be and who you should be. And I think now I'm, like, coming to know myself again in that same authentic way that when I was a child. But I'm never going to say that I 100% know myself, because I'm constantly discovering and growing, and I've got a ways to go. I mean, God willing, that I live a while.
Definitely.
Gonna keep learning, keep growing, keep knowing. But
plans.
I like to interrogate and I like to introspect. Yeah.
Question number 6.
Okay.
How was the universe created?
Wow. I believe in God.
Yes.
I believe God set the universe in motion. I also believe in evolution, but I believe that God set evolution in motion. And my father always thought of God as like the ultimate artist.
That's nice.
Especially in, I don't know, all the little intricacies of the plants and the animals and just, it can't be by accident.
Yes, I agree.
You know, there's just, it's too beautiful and there's too much uniqueness and so much diversity that, yeah, you wouldn't, my father said the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful aesthetic is the greatest diversity within the greatest unity, which is a beautiful thing. Anyway,
Definitely.
All that to say, sorry, I'm quoting my dad a lot right now.
Wise man.
He died when I was 15, and I carry him with me. And today was a lot about memory and memorial and honoring people. So I think he's very present with me today. But
Yes.
Yeah, I believe God created the universe, set it into motion.
Okay. Did you write on a note for him, something to him today?
I did.
Can I ask you what you wrote?
Yeah.
What'd you write? We're listening.
I think I just wrote, Papa, I love you and I miss you, and you will always be my charming soldier.
Yes.
That was my nickname for him, because he, I don't know, there was and the soldier part doesn't even make sense. But I nicknamed him that because he in the morning would be so like enthusiastic and excited, like getting me up in the morning.
Yes.
I'm not a morning person.
Yes.
And so I would be like, oh, my charming soldier, like stop being so charming and so like, but just a few days ago, I wrote something because it was his birthday, and I was writing something about, honoring him for his birthday. And I said something about how he soldiered. He always saw beauty in everything.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "There's no paradise without snake," which I also like. That the world is beautiful and it's a paradise, but it's gonna sting sometimes with the snake, but it's always still beautiful.
Yes.
And so the soldiering, I don't know, the soldiers maybe like soldiering on and seeing the beauty no matter what gets to you.
Yes.
I don't even remember what the question was.
No, that's cool. No, it's actually what you got. Yeah, this is authentic time. It's not, there's no whatever. You got enough battery. We're cool. Yeah, exactly. You got enough battery. We're cool. Okay. Last question.
Yes.
But we're going to ask you 2 bonus questions since you said you believe in evolution, because those are like 2 bonus questions
Okay.
I thought sometimes. Okay.
Cool. Ready.
Question number 6 or 7?
7.
7.
Yeah.
What is the universe?
What is the universe?
Yes.
I'm just getting.
Final question.
I mean, I'm sure there's a very good like scientific definition, which I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. To me, the universe is just a lot of like all the threads of like energy and life and being that can go from the like very microscopic
Yes.
way down, like to the atoms, and then all the way to like the biggest thing, and that is like it's all connected. To me, that's the universe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it simple.
Thank you very much. All right.
You're welcome.
Bonus question.
Okay, bonus question.
Bonus question. Now, do you believe that humans came from monkeys? I guess you would call it evolution, but that's not how we say it. Do you believe that humans came from monkeys?
No.
No?
I don't know.
I thought that's what evolution was.
I mean, in some ways, yes, but...
Just that sentence?
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I think there's something special about humans.
Yes.
And there's something, I also, believe in humans made in the image of God,
yes.
And that there's something divine and beautiful, and there's a soul, and there's something special about humans that's different from animals.
Yes.
Not to say that animals aren't beautiful and don't have their own slice of the universe. So maybe in terms of like, I don't know, bone structure and DNA, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there is science that says yes, but I think that there's something special, like there's like a little like added ingredient that makes humans, right?
Yes.
That's gonna be my answer for that.
Okay, one last question. Last question.
Okay.
All right. The previous question was, do you believe people came from monkeys? The
yes.
Last question is, do you believe in aliens? Any kind, no right or wrong answer.
I don't not believe.
Okay, all right.
I am open to the possibility.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm open to the possibility.
Thank you very much. Is there anything you want to tell us where we can reach you, or just?
BeatriceMartino.com is my website.
Thank you.
And yeah, I'm an artist and a dancer and do a lot of things.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah.
I knew to say you were a psychologist, so I was like, let me see that.
I'm not officially a psychologist.
Yeah, she's smart. Let me ask her the questions.
my undergrad degrees are in dance and psychology.
Okay.
I love psychology. I love the way people think and work and all of that.
Yes.
You can probably tell by the way I
Yeah.
talked about things, connection, all that. And then I just finished my master's at NYU, where I built my own degree, and I studied contemporary views of death and grief in the United States, and kind of interrogated why we shy away and we push away
yes.
those parts of the essential parts of the human experience. And then I created an art installation for grief processing as a kind of, not an antidote, but like a, an intervention of sorts to say, hey, we don't have space in this culture, in this country, to grieve, or at least not as much as I think we should.
Yes.
And what if we created a physical space where people could come and be with their grief? And what does it mean to hold space for grief? And what does it mean to get away from the hustle and bustle and actually be with your feelings and honor your memories and honor your ancestors and honor who you've become because of it, what you carry with you, who you carry with you. That's my passion. I don't know, like, there was a question there about what
yes.
I value most. Like, that's digging more into that.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the work that I'm exploring. I'm a dancer, choreographer, I do performance art, I do video projection work, multimedia stuff, and I'm here today. Cro-ken's Conduct and Paint show. Ken was a dear friend of mine, and so this is kind of me honoring his life. He died in July. Where we put the show together to really celebrate who he was and the art that he made, which was all about the universe, actually, which is so related. Yeah, he was all about the micro and the macro and nature as co-creator in discovering what the universe is, and so very on theme.
You feel like a few more questions?
Sure.
Okay. What you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, I mean, I just want to keep making art and connecting with people and holding space for people, and I don't really care how I do it as long as that's what I'm doing. I think always art will be a part of it.
Yes.
I have thought about becoming like a death doula, or actually becoming a psychologist or therapist. Thought about teaching, thought about doing art therapy. I don't know. It's anything that's about using art to connect people. I want to be involved.
Okay. What is a death doula?
What is a death doula?
I went over my head. Yes.
Yeah. Have you heard of a birth doula?
Not really. Kind of.
So a doula is someone who accompanies someone through a kind of life event. Birth doulas are the most common, so yes. They similar to midwives, they're maybe not as hands-on necessarily, but they're kind of accompanying the mother through the process emotionally, mentally, kind of helping them prepare and go through the whole process. And then a death doula is the same idea, but with someone who's dying. So you're helping the person prepare for their final days, helping the family prepare for their final days, holding space, letting them know what to expect, both like physically what's going to happen when someone starts to die,
yes,
but also to help them connect with each other, to share their stories, to feel like they're ready for this transition, and to be kind of a support system. So it's kind of someone who comes in to be an extra support system.
Okay. Does that mean that you don't have a lot of fear?
That I don't have a lot of fear?
Yes. That seems kind
of
scary to me.
I have a lot of anxiety. Is anxiety the same as fear? I don't know.
I don't know. I think anxiety is like an excitement, or...
I'm not scared of death.
Okay.
I have a lot of empathy and I feel things really deeply.
Yes.
And so I think one of the things that's maybe a bit of a roadblock for me pursuing this is, and the same thing with therapy,
yes,
is I feel like I would get too pulled in and too attached, and my heart would be breaking for these people, and it would be hard for me to separate.
Yes.
And not fall apart myself, because if I'm afraid of anything about that process, it's about that. It's about not taking care of myself.
I feel you.
But I'm not afraid to be around it. Yeah.
I have more questions. Do you mind?
Yeah,
All
go
right,
for it.
All right. Are you a feminist? And then what does that mean?
Yeah, that's what I was going to be like. I mean...
Hold on, don't set me up yet.
I mean...
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If that means that...
It means whatever you want it to mean. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's about equality and equity across gender, and I would say not just binary gender, but across the gender spectrum. I mean, I know feminists started as very specifically women's movement, but I think what it's really standing for is, not pushing against patriarchal values and pushing against the patriarchy and pushing against men being in power. And what does it mean if we lift up the other gender or genders? That's kind of my tag expansion of it. I don't know if some hardcore feminists might not agree. I don't know. It's complicated. It's one of those words that had a very specific meaning at one time, and now people use to mean a lot of different things.
Yes.
So, yeah, if it means that we are all human beings who were created with that same divine reflection in God's image, and no person of any description should, just because of whatever that description is, be more powerful than other people, right? I don't know. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Since you just crushed that, we're gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Peace.
Thanks.